humans tend to think of themselves as the most intelligent, most civilized, most self-aware species on the planet. A story we tell ourselves through language, culture, and the way we structure the world around us. Animals don't have access to most of that. They read us through smell, sound, movement, size, and behavioral patterns. They don't decide who you are, they decide what you are. A threat, a resource, a companion, a predator, or something unknown. And the answer to what you are is entirely different depending on which species is doing the deciding. Dogs have spent around 40,000 years around us, which makes them the most accurate readers of human behavior of any animal on Earth. They can follow a human pointing a finger, something even chimpanzees struggle with. They track our eye movements, read our facial expressions, and respond to the tone of our voice with an accuracy that suggests deep, evolved comprehension. A dog knows you are not another dog. Your smell, your shape, your movement make that obvious. But it categorizes you as a member of its social group regardless. You are not a dog, but you are part of the pack. And in most cases, you are the most important member of it. Cats are a different case entirely. Unlike dogs, cats were not selectively bred for human companionship. They domesticated themselves by moving near human settlements to hunt the rodents our food stores attracted. A cat knows you are not a cat, and yet it behaves around you almost identically to how it behaves around other cats, rubbing, headbutting, slow, blinking, bringing you dead animals. Researchers have found that cats developed a specific set of vocalizations, the meow in its various forms, that they use almost exclusively with humans and almost never with each other. It is a language built for us. So what does a cat think you are? The most convincing current answer is that it sees you as a large, clumsy, mostly competent living thing that it has decided to tolerate and occasionally manage. Horses are prey animals whose primary survival instinct is to run from predators. But humans are predators. We have forward-facing eyes, we move with intention, and we smell of meat. A horse's first instinct upon encountering a human should be flight. The fact that horses can be trained to accept a human sitting on their back, directing them at speed, is not a small thing. It represents a profound override of their deepest survival programming. Horses read human body language and emotional state with remarkable sensitivity, often reacting to a handler's stress before the handler is consciously aware of it. They accept us not because they misidentify us, but because they come to understand, through experience and trust, that this particular predator is safe. Birds vary enormously depending on species and intelligence. Most ordinary birds experience humans as large, unpredictable threats, something to be avoided and fled from when approached. But the more intelligent species, particularly crows and ravens, operate on an entirely different level. Crows can recognize individual human faces and remember them for years. A crow that has been threatened or harassed by a specific person will not only remember that face, but will actively alert other crows in the area, passing on the grudge socially across the group. The same face will be mobbed and scolded by crows that have never personally encountered that person. To a crow, you are a known individual with a reputation, and that reputation can outlast your memory of ever having had an interaction with a bird. Wild land animals in forests and cities typically place humans in one category above all others, the most dangerous thing they will ever encounter. Foxes, deer, raccoons, and most woodland animals treat human presence as a threat signal regardless of intent. Prolonged exposure to urban environments does reduce that fear response over generations, which is why city foxes and park squirrels behave differently from their forest counterparts. African safari animals experience humans differently depending on the species. For most large predators, lions, leopards, crocodiles, a human on foot is simply prey. Monkeys and great apes are a unique case. Chimpanzees and gorillas share enough of our social and emotional architecture that they read human facial expressions, respond to human moods, and in some cases form genuine individual relationships with specific humans over time. They know we are not them, but they recognize us as something close. Elephants sit in a category of their own. Research in Kenya found that elephants appear to categorize humans as a unique type of creature, not prey, not predator, not competitor. They displayed behaviors toward human children in particular that researchers described as gentle and investigative, the same kind of careful attention they show toward their own young. The leading interpretation is that elephants may perceive human beings as small, non-threatening, and something close to cute. Marine animals cover a wide range. Most fish register humans as large, unfamiliar objects and respond with avoidance. We are simply too big and too strange to be food, and too slow to be threatening once submerged. Dolphins are a significant exception. They are curious, socially complex animals that frequently seek out human contact voluntarily, suggesting they register us as something interesting and interactive rather than threatening. Whales generally treat humans with indifference or mild curiosity. Large, slow objects in the water that pose no obvious threat and offer no obvious opportunity. Orcas are a different story entirely and one of the strangest in the animal kingdom. Orcas are the apex predator of the ocean. They hunt great white sharks, blue whales, and virtually anything else that moves in the sea. There is no animal in the ocean they cannot kill, and yet toward humans, wild orcas are almost universally non-aggressive. They approach divers with curiosity, interact with boats, and in some cases appear to play alongside them. Orcas are intelligent enough to categorize humans as something entirely outside their normal prey or threat framework. Something novel, social, and worth engaging with rather than eating. Octopuses are perhaps even more surprising. They are highly intelligent, individual in personality, and multiple aquarium studies have documented octopuses forming clear preferences for specific human handlers, approaching some with curiosity and retreating from others with apparent aversion. To an octopus, you are apparently a recognizable individual worth having an opinion about. So what do animals actually think of us? The honest answer is that there is no single answer. But what runs through almost every answer is the same thread. Animals do not see us as we see ourselves. They see us as we actually behave, stripped of everything we tell ourselves about who we are, reduced to what we smell like, how we move, and what we have done to them and their kind. In that sense, animals may be the most honest judges of humans that exist. Click the video on your screen right now and I'll explain another everyday mystery you've wondered about your whole life, but never thought to look up.